What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be an install day and a maintenance day. We're going to be installing brand new rear shocks on the 2024 Roadglide, as well as changing out the engine oil, the transmission fluid, and the primary fluid, as well as cleaning the air filter. To see what we got for the rear shocks and what engine oil we're going to be using, let's go over here. Alright, so the engine oil, transmission fluid, and the primary fluid I went with is going to be Harley's M8 Sin 3. Last time I went with Redline. This time I want to try something different. It worked well, but you know, want to see how the bike reacts to Harley's brand. You know. I live down here in South Texas, and today it was 103 degrees riding home from work. So just want to see how this Harley brand works out. So Harley's tune-up kit's going to come with your heavy gear oil for your transmission and primary, and then 5 quarts of Sin 3 SAE 15W50, your oil filter, and it also came with 4 spark plugs, as well as your O-rings as well. For the rear shocks, I decided to go with Nowaskey. I've forgotten I ordered this shift linkage, so we'll be installing that also. And it's come with new bolts and washers. So the reason I went with Nowaskey over OHLINS or Legends is because I've had OHLINS before on my 2009 ZX6. They're great racing shocks, but I'm not doing any racing with this bike. It's a touring bike. Round trip from my house to work is like 220 miles. So I need something that's going to be very comfortable for long distance and 2-up riding. So that's why I decided to go with Nowaskey. And it's also because Chris, cruising through on 2 and also Sick Wide Glide, he did a really good in-depth video with Pete up in Nowaskey, and he talks about everything about these shocks, and that's what really made me go with them. So I'm excited to try them out. You know, I do a lot of highway touring miles, and I do a lot of 2-up riding with my wife, so we wanted something better than the stock shocks. You know, I've tried adjusting them and everything, harder, softer, but you know, every time I'm 2-up and we hit a bump, it's, you know, it's painful on us. So we're gonna give these a shot, and we're gonna do the oil change, transmission fluid, and the primary fluid. So let's get the bike on the rack, and we'll get started. Alright guys, I went ahead and just took out all the fluids. The guy that takes care of my yard was here, so I wasn't able to film. But this is the bolt for our engine oil. This is the bolt for our transmission. And this is the bolt for our primary. Engine oil one looked good. Transmission looks good too. Just a little bit of buildup. That's it. Looks real good. And then the primary. Just a little bit. So let's get these back on. Put all the fluids in, and then we'll get to the shocks and we'll get to the shift linkage. For the initial engine oil, it's going to be 4 quarts, and the transmission and the primary case are both going to be the same. It's going to be 28 on both of them. So real quick, I'm gonna get these O-rings replaced, clean this up, and put everything back on the bike. So if you're doing this yourself, you can go get some small picks, super cheap at Home Depot, Harbor Freight, Lowe's, but always remember to replace your O-rings every time you do these. These definitely make it easier to get these off. So if you don't know, this is going to be for your engine oil. Under here, and I'll show you after I put it back, this is going to be your transmission plug, and then right here is your primary case plug. Okay, your engine oil is going to be at the front, transmission is right behind it, facing straight down, and primary is underneath your primary right here. All right, this will be easier now. For your engine oil right here in the front, transmission facing down, and primary bolt. Now that the bolts are back on, go ahead and get our new oil filter. And then go ahead take a little bit of the Sin 3 oil, put it on the O-ring. There we go. Alright. Pull out all of our dipsticks. Let's get that out of the way. So the initial fill up is 4 quarts, so that's what I'm going to do, and then once we get it started and warmed up and everything, we'll check again and add however much we need to add. Alright, so both the transmission and the primary both call in the owner's manual for 28 fluid ounces. So that's what we're going to do. And right here on the side goes up to 24, so inside of this is 32 ounces. So we'll just, once there's 4 ounces left, that'll be enough. Figurati Designs has a transmission dipstick now that they have for the engine oil one. They have a matching one, so who knows. I might look around into getting that because they're both magnetic dipsticks. Plus it's a lot easier than having to break out an Allen key to put this back in. The only thing I don't like about Trask primary cover with floorboards, not with the little pegs, is that if you want to do this, you want to change any of this, you gotta take out this top bolt, and then you can swivel it out of the way, just enough to get the primary off. So honestly, if you have the Trask one, a funnel works a lot better than that primary funnel down there. Now that we have all the primary fluid in, we'll go ahead and put this primary cover back on. Alright guys, we got it all buttoned back up. Oil filter's in, all the drain plugs are in, primary cover's back in, all fluids are in. Tomorrow we're gonna do the shift linkage, and then we're gonna take off the bags, take off the seat, and we're gonna put the shocks on. Well, we're gonna call it a night. I'm hungry, tired, and working all day, but we'll get back to it tomorrow. Do the shocks, and we'll do the shift linkage in the morning, and then we'll take it out for a little ride, see how it is, tighten things up, and we'll also top off the fluids to how they're meant to be. Good morning. Today we're going to be finishing the install for Nowaskey. We're going to be doing the shift linkage today, and we're going to take off the seat, get the bags taken off, unplugged, and then we'll get the install going. All right, let's go ahead and get the seat off. So I have the Custom Dynamics lights on the saddlebags. I have the ones on the back and here as well. So gotta get those unplugged and out of the way. So I got one here. There we go. And then this one. Now this side. Go ahead and get a rough measurement to get this lined up about how far it is already from the stock one. What you're gonna need to take this off, you're gonna need a 7/16 and a 1/2 inch. So this is Cruising Through on 2 shirt. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out. His videos are really good, super in-depth. You know, he does a lot of like install videos and super helpful, especially for people that like the wrench on the bikes themselves. I've always loved doing that, even with my truck. I find it more fun, plus it saves you a lot of money as well. Rough distance of how it's gonna sit, and on here it's about maybe a quarter inch too short from the stock linkage. So let me go ahead and change that up a little bit. There we go. Almost there. Maybe another 1/2 turn. Yeah, one more. There we go. All right, so we're gonna do the front first. Here we go. Put the 7/16 in the back. Be careful, don't smack your hand. All right, now the rear is only 7/16. All right, stock linkage is out. There we go. So now I'm just verifying that these are going to be the right length. I might have to push the end out just a little bit more. A couple centimeters off, but no biggie. And we'll get this installed. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and install the rear first. Go ahead and put a little bit of red Loctite on it. Just a little bit. So we're gonna get red Loctite on the bolt, just a little bit. Don't need much. Now we are going to lock in these nuts. There we go. All right, now time to remove the shocks. I'm gonna start with the bottom, and then we'll do the top. Same thing on the right side. And the right side. So y'all can see the difference between the stock Harley shocks and then the Nowaskey shocks. Nowaskey is dual adjustable top and bottom. Harley's is just top. And then you have the one on the left side to where you can increase or decrease the load for if you have a rider or you're packed down. Didn't really work very well for me, so hopefully this will work a lot better. So the shocks that I went with is the 130s. I messaged them up there, and Pete actually responded and said that the 130s would be the best for me because I do mainly single riding. But if you do a lot of two-up riding and stuff, like all the time, he said the 140s would be the best ones for you. So now that both shocks, the bottoms are installed, I'm gonna go ahead and do the tops. Now, I will Loctite these down, but I'm just checking out to make sure I don't need any more spacers on the inside or anything like that. So after you have the shocks mounted, what they want you to do on the instructions is come over here and make sure that the shocks are straight up and down and not cantered out at all. So all I have right now is just one spacer on the bottom. But they look good, they look straight. Doesn't look like they have any play on the side where it's cambered out or anything. So, and right now I'm just gonna run them how they sent them to me, and then I'll dial them in from here. All right, so now that I know that they're good, I'm just gonna back them out put on some Loctite. All right, now that they all have Loctite, I'm gonna go ahead and torque these down to 70 foot-pounds. All right. And then to the other side. All right, all done. So now we have both rear shocks installed. Honestly, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. Just make sure you have a floor jack so you can raise the rear tire up and down to be able to line up the bolts. Yeah, just so you can see, I have the 130 shock, or the 130 spring, I believe is what it was. If you're interested in getting any shocks, I would watch the Cruising Through on 2 video where he talks to Pete Nowaskey and he goes into full detail about it. It's a really good video. That's the reason why I decided to go with Nowaskey over Legends or OHLINS, also because it is cheaper as well. All right, so now that the shocks are all installed, everything's torqued down, we're gonna put the seat back on and to get it off the tire rack. And we're gonna take it for a spin just so I can see how the initial ride's gonna be with these shocks. And then once we come back, I'm gonna check out all the fluids, make sure they're topped off properly, and then go from there, do some fine adjustments on the shocks, and I'll let y'all know how it goes. All right, let's go check out these shocks.
still gonna bounce pretty good.